So, Jupiter, largest planet in our solar system, right? Look, real quick, were y'all aware of NASA's Juno mission? I wasn't aware of it. I got it pulled up here on my phone. NASA's Juno mission that I think just recently ended. That was gathering information on Jupiter. Were y'all aware of that? Because I wasn't. Listen, it says NASA's Juno mission is exploring Jupiter from orbit, beaming back photos, atmospheric data, and other observations about the largest planet in our solar system. Launched August 5th, 2011, and arrived in orbit on Jupiter July 4th, 2016. It said it's the farthest space probe ever to be powered by solar rays. The $1.1 billion mission is expected to run through July 2021. Hence me saying that just possibly recently ended. I'm gonna have to look up and see. But were y'all aware of that? I wasn't. I wasn't. Do we even know what all NASA's doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like they got a lot of things going on, man. And I feel like right now I'm just pulling back the covers off of what's going on over there that I haven't been aware of. You know what I mean? Not saying they haven't made it public. It's just that I haven't been paying attention. Now I am. You know what I mean? So this video here, though, is strange phenomena spotted on the surface of Jupiter's moon. Now, you already automatically know what I think about that tropical storm, but let's see what else they got to talk about. Or maybe it's just another version of that. We'll see. All right. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, join the family, and let's check this out.
The European Space Agency's JUICE probe will crash into Ganymede, Jupiter's largest moon. In 10 years, a $1 billion vehicle will instantly turn into a pile of trash. Moreover, scientists have known about this since 2012. And what's even stranger is that the doomed probe will leave Earth only in the summer of 2022. But why aren't scientists trying to prevent this catastrophe? In fact, this sacrifice is necessary to collect essential data, as it's somewhere around Jupiter that we hope to find life and maybe even establish colonies. But which moons of the gas giant should we choose for the research? In this video, you'll find out where's the place with the largest number of volcanoes in the solar system? Why is it dangerous for space probes to get closer to Europa? And most importantly, can we survive on the moons of Jupiter?
Good question.
Could there be...
Yeah, focus. It might be a test at the end of this, all right? No, I'm just kidding.
Life on Io. Io is Jupiter's closest moon, and its diameter is 1,800 kilometers, which is only a bit larger than our moon. But despite its size, this moon is the most geologically active body in the solar system. The reason for this is Jupiter's strong gravity, which compresses Io with tidal effects. As a result, there are more than 400 active volcanoes on this moon, and their eruptions reach 300 meters in height.
Gosh, bro, that's a lot, fam. That's a lot. It got me thinking, does anybody know the actual count that we have here on Earth of volcanoes? Because I know it's a lot as well. You know what I mean? But just hearing that, that's a lot, bro. That's something we got to think about, talking about putting life on one of those moons or something like that. Like, we got to think about the volcanoes, bro. And these jokers are active.
With tidal effects. As a result, there are more than 400 active volcanoes on this moon, and their eruptions reach 300 meters in height. Due to such activity, volcanic ash and lava streams constantly reshape the surface, covering it in shades of yellow and green due to the high concentration of sulfur. Such conditions make life on Io impossible, and not only for extraterrestrial bacteria and animals, but also for human settlements. settlements. Besides, there might be underground caves on Io similar to lava tubes on Earth. They're formed due to the molten magma getting unevenly cooled and are somewhat similar to voids in a croissant. Some scientists suggest that they may have a bacterial life filling. It would be hard for people to settle there, as there are constant cave-ins due to Io quakes. It's much more likely that we find other life and establish a colony on an extraterrestrial ocean on another known moon of Jupiter.
Agreed. I agree. That one doesn't sound promising at all, bro. You know what I mean? No. Volcanoes, over 400 of them. Yeah, they just spewing lava everywhere. Got these little pockets, but if you happen to get in there, now you got to worry about it caving in on you. Oh, thank you, man. I got better things I could be doing.
On an extraterrestrial ocean on another known moon of Jupiter. How life-friendly is Europa? The diameter of Europa is 3,000 kilometers, which is like a quarter of the Earth's. But at the same time, heat from the tidal effects of Jupiter's gravity creates an ocean under the ice crust that is twice the amount of water from all of Earth's oceans combined. Because of the water layer, the surface is much calmer than the one on Io. Yes, there are volcanoes on Europa too, though it's not magma that comes out of them, but water, ice showers in space. Really hot eruptions occur at the bottom of the ocean, and scientists believe that it's thanks to them that life might exist there. Bacteria, and perhaps even more complex organisms, could absorb heat from the depths of this moon, and maybe are just waiting for us to find them. And that's one of the tasks of the JUICE mission. The problem is that the probe will only be able to go around Europa twice. But why? The point is that Jupiter creates not only a gravitational field, but also a magnetic one. High-energy particles bombard the entire surface of Europa with ionizing radiation. Even a modern spacecraft won't be able to work for long under such conditions. The radiation background there is 5,400 millisieverts per day, which is enough to kill a person in less than a day. Of course, we can try to hide in the ocean.
That's like Chernobyl on steroids right there, pretty much. Grief.
Enough to kill a person in less than a day. Of course, we can try to hide in the ocean under the ice while we're looking for life. But by the time the colonists might manage to drill 30 kilometers down through the ice crust, all of them will have inevitably turned into radioactive soup. So, for people to have a chance to survive, we need to find a place that's at least a little protected from radiation. How can...
See, that makes me think that we're going to start looking towards, like, underwater civilization and colonies being built. You know what I'm saying? Even here, like, the threat here, when we was talking about Yellowstone National Park erupting, it was that it could pretty much cover almost the United States, right? But when they erupt underwater, you don't have too many issues, you know what I mean? The water cools it, contains it, you know what I'm saying? So I think eventually they're gonna start thinking about, if they're not already, like trying to build like underwater civilizations, you know, kind of like in Dubai when we watched the video, they were talking about inside of a dome, like building cities inside of this like dome, like you may have that in the near future underwater too as well. I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the guy to say how to get done, but just a thought when it comes to hearing about all these type of different, you know, disasters, natural disasters that could occur on land. They're gonna start looking eventually towards water.
It's at least a little protected from radiation. How can Ganymede protect its inhabitants from radiation? It's the third moon of Jupiter, and although NASA, for example, is more interested in studying Europa, Ganymede is much more unique in many ways. Its diameter is 5,200 kilometers, which is about a quarter larger than Mercury. But the main thing for us is that Ganymede has its own magnetic field, which blocks the harmful radiation of Jupiter. That's why, to study this unique phenomenon, the European Space Agency is launching the JUICE mission. The probe will go around the moon 15 times and complete its mission by falling to its surface. That way, the probe will make its last measurements from extremely close range, which is impossible to do from Earth. Perhaps JUICE will even break through the ice crust of Ganymede, which has not just one ocean under it, as on Europa, but 4. They're situated like layers of a layer cake, and scientists think that each of them could hypothetically have completely different forms of life. And the magnetic field indicates that there's a hot metal core capable of providing energy for the inhabitants of these 4 seas. It's just that despite the magnetic field, the radiation background on the surface reaches 80 millisieverts per day. It's much less than on Europa, but even so, you'll get radiation sickness.
Yeah, still dangerous though. Still dangerous.
Much less than on Europa, but even so, you'll get radiation sickness in 12 days. And if you don't get away immediately, you'll definitely be dead within a month. Unfortunately, even with modern technology, we just can't protect ourselves from such radiation. So apparently, we'll have to look for a place further away from destructive Jupiter. Will Callisto become our second home? It's 4,800 kilometers in diameter, which is only 1% smaller than Mercury. This moon is also much further away from Jupiter than the previous 3. That's why it's not influenced by tidal forces. And there are no eruptions or Callisto quakes that could erase even meteorite craters, which in their turn provide tons of great places for hideouts. Besides, according to some data from satellites, at a depth of 150 meters, Callisto also has an ocean of liquid water that may contain life. This is beginning to look like a trend among Jupiter's moons.
Okay, but I feel like there's a but coming on. Where's the but? But it has the radiation that'll kill you. Instead of 12 days, 5. You know what I mean? It's a little further away, shorten your days up, but it still may get you. Where's the but? I feel a but coming on.
May contain life. This is beginning to look like a trend among Jupiter's moons. But most importantly, at such a distance from Jupiter, the radiation on the surface is only 1/10 of a millisievert per day, which means that people can safely stay there. That's why Callisto is now considered the 3rd most suitable place for colonization after the Moon and Mars. In 2003, NASA suggested a program called HOPE for human exploration of the outer planets, and it was Callisto that was chosen as the main target of that mission. We don't even have to dig ourselves under the ice. We can place all the buildings we need right there on the surface. Imagine how much data we could collect if we put our equipment so close to Jupiter and extraterrestrial oceans. And if the program is approved, the first expeditions to Callisto won't leave until 2040. So it's your chance to get ready if you want to participate in colonization or in the search for extraterrestrial life. Anyway, let us know in the comments, would you like to fly to the moons of Jupiter? And what other places do you think we should colonize? Maybe the Antarctic, or the Pacific garbage patch, or perhaps the most deserted place of all, Detroit.
The moons, the last one, I don't even remember the name at the moment. I have to go back through the video, but the last one they talked about where you could survive the radiation, then maybe that one. The other ones, we can't chance it. I'm not sending nobody up there to chance their life at trying to tackle one of Jupiter's moons, man, with all that radiation. No, I wouldn't do that. But the last one that is the possibility, yeah, I think we should explore that one, which they said they've been doing. I think that one's the best chance at finding the possibility of life there. You know what I mean? And whatever comes with that. So that one there, the other ones, I say we leave it alone until we get better readings of radiation. But for now, I say we leave it alone and focus on ones that we can safely gather data from and information from. But you know what I mean? Jupiter. It's a lot going on around Jupiter and Jupiter's moons, man. And just think about this, bro. That's just one planet and its planets and its moons around it. Like, we still got a ton of things out in space, like a ton. Remember back in that video, I think it was yesterday, where it showed us how we look from a distance and we were a mere crumb in speck. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't get discouraged if we pull up to Jupiter and we see some moons that we can't go up to because of the radiation. Cool. It's so much more to explore. So I'm not discouraged by that at all. You know what I mean? We just keep moving, keep it moving. All right. But y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what you thought about this video of strange phenomena spotted on the surface of Jupiter's moon. All right. It's your boy L. Y'all stick around and stay tuned, man. Till next one, I'm gone. Peace.